Hey, how you doing? It's been a rough week, I know. You doing okay? Do you need anything? I can make you some consolation cake. Does that sound good? Alright, we'll get started. I know what you're thinking. What the heck is consolation cake? Well, consolation means, comfort, to console. And cake means, well, cake. This particular consolation cake was inspired by my childhood. No. Not my failures as a child. But I don't know how many of you came from middle class families without cable. Raise your hands. Thank you. Well, my Saturday morning cartoons consisted of the same 3 episodes that Disney wanted to throw onto ABC every week. So I watched a particular show a million times called The Replacements. Basically, if you haven't heard of it, these 2 orphans sent in money to a mail-in comic book ad and then got 2 parents and then could replace anybody they wanted to, blah, blah, blah. Typical Disney setup. But the first episode, they had a baseball coach who, every time they lost, they got something called consolation cake, which made the dad really happy when they lost.
Hey, I know what'll cheer you kids up.
Consolation cake?
No, consolation cake.
So in light of everything that's going on this week, and I don't know by the time I get this up what's happening in the world now, but as of right now, I was inspired to make this cake. Look at the little happy face. I'm going to make 2 chocolate cakes and layer pink buttercream in between them, and on top for the smiley face I'm gonna make a giant sugar cookie decorated with the smiley face. So hopefully it tastes good, hopefully it looks good, and hopefully it brings you some consolation. Let's get into it. So I've already made 1 cake ahead of time, and I thought the batter would only make 1 cake, so I plan on making the other one on camera for you guys, but instead, I'm just going to show you everything that goes into the batter and pop up the recipe really quick. 1/2 cup of sugar, 1 3/4 cup flour, 3/4 cup cocoa powder, 1½ teaspoon baking powder, 1½ teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of warm water. I'm guessing you guys know what that looks like. We got some alcohol with 1/2 cup of Kahlua, 1 cup of milk. You know I always be on that oat milk. 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And the recipe called for vanilla, and I'm almost out of vanilla, and I wanted to save it for the cookie. So I use pure almond extract instead, but you can use vanilla. But I think it smells crazy good. Yeah, that's what's in our thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour. We have our baking sheet lined with parchment paper and oiled, and then everything mixed together. First you mix the wet ingredients, or first you mix the dry ingredients, then you mix the wet ingredients, and then you combine. Super simple. So I'm just going to pour that in. It is about 1/4 of the way full, and it's ready to go in the oven. That goes in a 350-degree oven for 30 minutes, and we'll pop back when both the cakes are out. So here we have the 2 cakes. This one is fresh out of the oven, and this one has been cooling for a little bit. So I'll put those off to the side to let the one on the left cool. And in the meantime, I'm going to make the sugar cookie dough. So for the sugar cookies, our first step is to take 1 cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar and cream that together, like so. And to that, we're adding egg and vanilla and mixing until that's combined. Now in a separate bowl, we're combining the flour and baking powder. Doesn't look like too much. Now we're going to move that there and this here and combine the 2. And now that this is all mixed, I'm going to roll it into a ball and put it in the fridge for 20 minutes. Alright, so our dough is out of the fridge. It's been 20 minutes. I'm not 100% certain it's ready. It's still a little sticky, so I'm just going to make sure to flour up my rolling pin really good, and hopefully we won't have any problems. But I put down a parchment paper piece because I didn't want it sticking to the counter itself. I got a rolling pin. I'm going to flour it up really good. And the oven is preheating to 350. You want it big enough to be able to cut out. I think this is the width I'm going to use. So we're just going to pop that and cut it out and grab a sharpish knife to cut around it. So I'm fast forwarding through me cutting the dough because the dough was not ready. And so I decided to reflour it and put it back in the fridge for an hour. I think I have a ball, whatever this is. I have this now, and I'm gonna re-chill it, and hopefully, I'm gonna re-chill it for like an hour, and then probably take a nap and clean up my mess, and hopefully I don't have to start over. Okay, we're back. I've taken a nap. Hopefully the dough is chilled and ready to come out. Fingers crossed. The moment of truth. Yeah, I think 20 minutes probably wasn't long enough because this feels significantly colder. Alright. Oh man, that looks so promising. Okay, I'm not gonna get excited. Put a little bit of flour. And moment of truth. Oh man, that's so much better. This makes me so happy. Hopefully this is the right size. Maybe, yeah. Alright, now I lied. I didn't clean anything up. I just took a nap because I was so tired. And we're going to cut this out. It's already going so much better. Perfect-ish. Now I grabbed a big baking sheet and my silicone mat so it'll come off easier. And how are we gonna do this? I don't think you'll be able to see this. Just kind of flipped it over. Now we're just waiting for the oven to preheat. We'll do a consolation cookie. I don't know what I'm doing. I just don't want this dough to go to waste since I worked so hard on it. So we got 2 rando cookies. Just heard the oven beep. So these are gonna go, oh no. These are gonna go in the oven. Ignore these, those are just for fun. But this one is the one I'm slightly worried about. So hopefully it turns out good. I'll put it in for about 25 minutes. While we wait for the cookie in the oven, I'm gonna cut our cake. Let's try it. Oh man, I really taste the almond extract. It's really good. Now we're just waiting on the cookie. I think it's ready. Okay, I'm gonna let that cool completely. But for now, I think I want to assemble these guys. This is what our icing looks like. It's been chilling in the fridge all day. It's a little hard, so I'm gonna let it thaw out. So I got impatient and melted the icing in the microwave and may have made a mistake, but yeah. We're just gonna plop it on. And the icing looks like it should be strawberry flavored, and I could lie to you and say that it is because, let's be frank, you can't taste this. But it's not strawberry flavored, it's just pink. We're gonna pop the next one on. Okay, I think that looks pretty flat, so I'm gonna bring the cookie over, and I'll explain what this chocolate is for in a second. It's for the decoration of the cookie, so y'all pray that this works. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Y'all, I had a heart attack. Get back. And yeah, the cookie completely fell apart. But I'd rather this one than this one. So I'm going to melt this gradually and then use a toothpick to draw on the decoration. All right, it's all melted. Ta-da! Now I'm going to do a little bit of finishing touches off camera because I'm running out of space, and then I'll show you the finished product. And here we have the finished consolation cake. It's not it's not as pretty as I would have liked, and it did cause me a little bit of stress, but I don't want to drop it, so I'm like cautiously holding it here. Is that better? There's our consolation cake. This is compared to the picture, and it's so cute. Oh my goodness. It tastes pretty good. I don't know. It's cheering me up. Is it cheering you up? I really hope so. And I think it turned out really nice. Whatever you need to do to de-stress, do it. And I will catch you on the next video. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Want to hear anything about my Halloween decorations still being up? If you can decorate for Christmas now, I can keep my Halloween decorations up. Capiche?